It's time for Tubi Tuesday. And yes, we are back home. And we are back for Tubi Tuesday. And so I decided to try to review for the month of September to continue reviewing video game based movies for Tubi Tuesday. And well, unfortunately, that means that I need to enter the world of Uwe Boll. Yes, Uwe Boll. That German bastard who makes cheap, terrible, horrible movies and video game adaptation movies and releases them and still makes money due to a loophole, a tax loophole or something. I'm not going to get into specifics, but yeah. And then, they changed that law in Germany. And now he hasn't made movies since then. But this is one of his most early ones with Alone in the Dark, starring Christian Slater, Tara Reid, and Steven Dorff, and is nothing like the video games. I don't even know if I played the video games, but I've researched the video games, and apparently this is based off the fourth game in this series, A New Nightmare. That's craven much. And you got the two main characters of Edward and Eileen, right? But everything else is ripoff. But apparently, and I looked this up, apparently the original writer of the original script had a good version of this, where Edward was a paranormal investigator, and it was more dark. It was more like the game. It was he was investigating stuff, and, it was more like the game. Dark, investigating, these creatures and stuff like that. Just like the game. Creatures, whatever. But, of course, video game adaptations can't be anything like the game. No, that would make too much sense. So Uwe Boll came in and said, no, I'm changing this, and I'm going to change this and this and this. I'm going to put more action in this, and we're going to rip off aliens. We're going to have a text crawl like the Star Wars, and we're going to make everybody stupid, and have superpowered people with the things on their spines and rip off the Stargate while we're at it, and we're going to add a bunch of stuff in the dark where nobody can see anything, and then we're going to have to explain what is going on with the thing like 72 times, and we're going, it's going to be good, yeah. It's basically what happened. And I apologize to all Germans out there if I offended you. But, so we begin with the world's longest text crawl explaining something, and apparently this was put in because they thought that people would, because I guess in test screenings, people had a hard time understanding. This was added in so they could understand, but you have a text crawl and you have someone reading it off, and the lowest possible volume, I had to turn up my TV to hear what the fuck this guy was saying, and there was even text that I could barely read. Apparently there was a tribe called the Akani that disappeared and stuff. I watched this movie from beginning to end, and I have no idea how the Akani has anything to do with these creatures. Because they talk about this tribe called the Akani, and then they find creatures. And they never once explain how the creatures and the Akani fit together. Not once. Were the Akani killed by the creatures? Which would make sense. Who knows? They never explain it. So we have Edward, played by Christian Slater. And when he was a kid, he was in this orphanage where this professor guy says he's doing experiments on the kids there. Edward's, of course, one of them, but he gets electrocuted and he loses his memory. Now, 22 years later, he is a paranormal investigator, and he's got some kind of artifact. He's being chased by this bald guy in a cab who can't die, but he shoots him 3 different times, even though after the first time, you know it's not going to stop. Like, he shoots him right in the heart. Guy keeps going. So what does he do? He shoots him again. What? And so the guy is attacking him and he shoots him in the leg. If shooting him in the heart twice didn't slow him down, what the fuck is shooting him in the leg gonna do? And then the guy dies when getting pushed or knocked onto a spike thing, sticking through, and it goes through him. And you may be thinking, wait, if getting shot twice in the heart didn't kill him, how did that kill him? Well, the only thing, it's not explained on screen, but if you're smart enough to figure it out, you can figure out, later in the film they explained that these things are wrapped around your spinal cord. So I'm assuming when he landed, it severed the spinal cord, killing the creature. Which, by the way, I don't know about those little things, but the bigger ones are called Xenos. There's your alien ripoff. And we rip off the Matrix with bullet time and slow motion. And when it's not necessary, this guy was walking out the door and it's like, what? So he works for, was it F-13 or something like that? I don't really care. Some weird thing called F-13 or something. And he meets anthropologist Aline, played by Tara Reid. Tara Reid is playing an anthropologist. On the DVD commentary for this, and I take this from the Smeghead himself, cinematic excrement, Uwe Boll is quoted in saying, Tara Reid looks smart with the eyeglass. That's how he explains how she could be an anthropologist, because she looks smart with the eyeglasses on. You don't convince me, Uwe Boll. No. I've seen enough Tara Reid in movies to know that she's no anthropologist. It's like casting Denise Richards as a archaeologist or whatever it was in The World Is Not Enough. It's just not believable at all. So, yeah. So we move on, and Edward starts to investigate this stuff. We gotta stop the movie for a sex scene, because when he shows up, she slaps him because apparently he's been missing for years. They were dating, I guess, and he's just gone missing. But he's strolling into town like he's been there plenty of times before and walks in to see her, not thinking about any, repercussions for his mistakes. So obviously it's not that big of a deal, but she slaps him, and then the professor guy, he has this box and they're on a boat and the guys are going to steal the box and they get killed by what's ever inside, which I think is Xeno. And if you don't think that he's ripping off, Uwe Boll's ripping off Alien, I refer you back to the commentary track where multiple times Uwe Boll refers to them as xenomorphs. The man knew what he was doing, alright? I'm just saying. And so you get that no-nonsense character played by Stephen Dorff, who doesn't want anything to do with Edward, but they're forced to work together later, and he sacrifices himself, of course. We get a sex scene with Tara Reid and Christian Slater, where it's a scene I would usually complain about because there's no nudity. They're having sex, but they don't get that far. They just start making out and grinding on each other. They don't get that far. Take her top off. You see bra, So it's not really much to complain about. It's not a full sex scene. But apparently, and I refer you back to the commentary, Uwe Boll was complaining that Tara Reid didn't want to take her bra off in that scene. Classy. When you're a director that will go on a commentary that's going to be on a DVD that everyone can listen to on the DVD, and you admit that you were mad because she wouldn't show her tits on camera. Wow. Just wow. It pissed you off so much that you gotta put it on a commentary track for your own fucking movie. Wow. What a sleaze bag. Anyway, so eventually they find this tunnel because people start getting activated, right? Except for Edward, he gets a headache because when he's electrocuted when he was a kid, it killed the thing, I guess, but he still gets a headache from it. And something happens to Tara Reid too, but that's never explained. She's like, but that's never explained. She doesn't have the thing in her, nothing. I don't know. They find this tunnel where the professor shows up again. Eventually, they find these creatures. And we have a full action scene in the dark. Like, I get wanting to use the aesthetic of gunfire to light your scene, but when all you're showing is them shooting a gun, you don't really see what they're shooting. What's the point? It looks terrible. So eventually, they find a door, right? And they decide they're going to open a door. But then they decide, no, we're not going to open the door. We're going to have common sense. But we need the door to be open, right? So, Uwe Boll wrote them to have common sense. And then like, oh no, but we need the door open. So we have someone else come in there and open the door for them. Okay. You give your characters common sense. But where's the common sense in giving them common sense? If you're just okay, confusing myself here. Why make them think twice about opening that door and not do it if you're just going to have someone else go in there and open it anyway? Padding? Just have them open the door. Them being stupid would pay off in this instance. Yes, I'd probably complain that they're open the door, but them having common sense to not open the door for this professor dude to come in and open the door anyway. Yeah. And so the door is opened, and there's creatures in there, of course, and they can't get the door shut again, so they close these blind things, and they're going to run out. The professor's dead. Of course, he dies. He gets shot, I think. Oh, no, the knife. Stephen Dorff throws his knife, kills the guy, and then they shut the sliding things, and they start to run. And they're going to get away, and Stephen Dorff's like, wait! My bomb! I left it behind the door! So I gotta go get it from the door. What? No! They're stuck behind the door. They're stuck behind the door. They're not getting out. You work for the government. You have more bombs. Just go up, grab another one, throw it down, boom. But no. He runs back, opens the fucking door, grabs the bomb, runs out, doesn't close the door again, but he sets the bomb, puts it down, runs, it explodes, he sacrifices himself, although it seems like he's still alive, maybe? I don't know. And our main characters get out in the front yard of the orphanage, which doesn't make any sense, and it's now daytime, despite the fact that it was just nighttime before they went in, and they weren't down there that long, and the whole city is gone. Just gone. Like, there's no people. Like, they were evacuated within 24 hours? Bullshit. A whole city? No. And to close it off, we get an Evil Dead ripoff. This movie is terrible. I will say, though, Christian Slater and Steven Dorff are the best actors in the film. There's a scene where Steven Dorff gets pissed, he knocks over his table. Yes, it's overdone, but I thought it was pretty good. And Christian Slater, he has so much inner monologue, though. It's like Uwe said, they didn't understand the movie, so they did the title crawl with the voiceover for the title crawl, and then had Christian Slater come back and do voiceover for certain things. It's just so we can understand what's going on. And I watched this entire film. Still had no fucking idea what was going on. I had to watch other people's reviews, and I'm still not 100% sure I know what was going on in this film. It's a terrible film. Don't watch it. Fry in hell, for sure. Duh. Welcome to the world of Uwe Boll, folks. Can't even say his fucking name right. And I know I have at least 2 more movies of his. Maybe 2. I have to look, actually. I know Blood Rain is on the docket. And I may just do... I know House of the Dead is on Vudu for free, and I may put that as a Tubi Tuesday, even though it's not technically Tubi. But I don't know if there's any more video game adaptations on there I can do. But I know Blood Rain is on there, and that'll be next week. So, I don't know, but I get what they mean. I mean, I tried to watch In the Name of the King one time. My grandma gave me the DVD. I tried to watch it. I was watching maybe 5 minutes or so, and I couldn't get into it. I'm like, no. And then I ended up throwing the DVD away. Throwing it away. I never thrown away anything. I either give it to someone else, shove it in the back of a cupboard, or pawn it. I threw it away. I'm not looking forward to watching these Uwe Boll movies, people. I'm not at all. But what are your thoughts on Alone in the Dark? Oh, if that's not bad enough, they made a sequel where they cast Rick Yune as Edward. People, Rick Yune is Chinese. Christian Slater is not. Will I be doing that movie? Maybe. I mean, it's on Tubi, and technically, it's a video game adaptation. So, I could. I don't wanna. Well, let me know what you think of Alone in the Dark. Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. I'll see you in the next one. 18 knows.